Story 1. Reflections of Fear. In the mysterious town of Eldershade, where ancient secrets whispered through the rustling leaves and cobblestone streets, a chilling legend loomed like a spectral shadow. This town, veiled in an otherworldly aura, was home to the enigmatic figure known as Jeff the Reaper, a ghostly entity that haunted the dimly lit corners and concealed alleys. Intrigued by the tales that permeated Eldershade, a young explorer named Alex dared to venture into the heart of the town's mystique. Under the cloak of a moonless night, with the air thick and imbued with an unspoken tension, Alex embarked on a journey through the labyrinthine streets. A flickering lantern was the only companion, casting shifting shadows that seemed to dance to an ethereal melody. The distant cries of nocturnal creatures heightened the ominous atmosphere, and it was then, amid the haunting sounds, that Alex heard an unsettling whisper carried on the breeze. "Do you fear the unknown, Alex?" Undeterred by the cryptic inquiry, Alex pressed forward, guided by an invisible force that seemed to beckon from the shadows. The alleys of Eldershade twisted and turned, revealing hidden nooks and crannies where forgotten stories resided. The flickering lantern played tricks on the moss-covered walls, casting eerie silhouettes that seemed to come alive. The whisper returned, a spectral voice growing more distinct with each step. "The mirrors reflect your deepest fears, Alex." Led by an unspoken curiosity, Alex found themselves standing before an abandoned building, its facade worn by time, windows shattered like fractured memories. Stepping inside, they discovered a hall of mirrors, each reflective surface distorting reality into a phantasmagoric tableau. The whispers, now a haunting symphony, reached a crescendo as Alex gazed into the fractured glass. Within those twisted reflections emerged the visage of Jeff the Reaper, a spectral figure with a malevolent grin, frozen in perpetual torment. Terror took hold of Alex's heart, and they stumbled backward, the hall of mirrors morphing into a nightmarish maze. Yet the mirrors seemed to conspire against them, multiplying the ghastly image of Jeff. In a surreal dance, no matter where Alex turned, the phantom figure drew closer, an embodiment of fear within the mirrors. Echoes of Alex's desperate cries reverberated through the desolate building as they vanished without a trace. The mirrors, now saturated with the lingering horror, captured not only their disappearance but also their reflection. In this macabre theater of the unknown, Alex's tormented soul became an eternal resident within the Hall of Mirrors, joining the legion of others forever trapped within the fractured glass, a haunting testament to the enigma that pervaded Eldershade. Story 2. The Midnight Message. In the serene enclave of Elmridge, where the stillness of the night cradled the town in a delicate embrace, Sarah's idyllic existence was abruptly shattered by an unsettling message that materialized on her phone. A haunting photograph depicting the facade of her home bore a chilling caption that sent shivers down her spine. "Jeff is watching." Initially dismissing it as a tasteless jest, Sarah instinctively fortified her sanctuary. meticulously securing every door and window, hoping to dispel the unsettling unease that clung to her like a ghostly spectre. As the night unfurled its velvet tapestry, an oppressive atmosphere descended upon Sarah's abode. The once steady glow of her home's lights now flickered with an erratic rhythm, casting elongated shadows that performed a haunting ballet on the walls, like spectral dancers twirling in macabre delight. The air, once serene, became pregnant with an unsettling tension. Slow and deliberate footsteps echoed through the hallway, resonating in the silence that enveloped Sarah. Each step seemed to draw her deeper into the clutches of an impending nightmare. The disconcerting cadence quickened her pulse, the rhythmic thud echoing in tandem with her racing heartbeat. A disembodied voice, as if born from the very shadows themselves, whispered, "Can you hear the sound of your heartbeat, Sarah?" Panic gripped her like icy tendrils, rendering her fingers clammy as she clutched the phone desperately. She fumbled to dial for help, but the silence on the other end of the line only served to amplify the creeping dread that clawed at her sanity. The room became a symphony of ominous whispers, the walls seeming to absorb her fear and reflect it back in ghostly echoes. Abruptly, the room plunged into complete darkness, a void that swallowed Sarah's surroundings. When the feeble illumination flickered back to life, she found herself face to face with Jeff the killer. His ghostly visage materialized inches from her terror-stricken expression, a visage etched with the malevolent satisfaction of a phantom tormentor. The phone slipped from her trembling hands, capturing the last moments of her horror as it tumbled into the abyss of encroaching darkness. In that macabre encounter, Elmridge's once peaceful night surrendered to the ominous presence of Jeff the killer, leaving Sarah's home forever altered, a sanctuary tainted by the indelible stain of fear, and her once tranquil existence irrevocably marred by the haunting spectre that had invaded her world. Story 3. The Abandoned Carnival. In the desolate outskirts of the once thriving town of Blackwood, a forgotten carnival stood as a melancholic relic of days long gone. Its rusted gates creaked in protest as the wind whispered secrets through the skeletal remains of dilapidated rides. Among the tales that haunted the town, rumors spoke of Jeff the killer, a malevolent spectre that had allegedly claimed the decaying amusement park as his haunting grounds. This ominous reputation served as the catalyst for a group of friends drawn by morbid curiosity to embark on a perilous journey to unravel the mysteries concealed beneath the rusted remnants of the carnival's former glory. Under the oppressive shroud of an otherworldly silence, the friends stepped onto the creaking boards of the dilapidated grounds. The air was thick with the echoes of forgotten laughter, a haunting chorus that seemed to resonate from the very essence of the carnival's eerie past. Each rusty groan of the skeletal rides sighed like the lament of a bygone era, heightening the sense of foreboding that permeated the night. As the group ventured deeper into the desolate carnival, a haunting melody, ethereal and haunting, echoed through the air, It was as if unseen hands played an otherworldly tune, an auditory manifestation of the spirits that lingered in the shadows. The Ferris wheel, long frozen in time, stirred to life with a mournful groan, its rusty joints singing a discordant harmony that reverberated through the deserted grounds. Panic set in among the friends as they realized they were no longer the masters of their own fate, but mere puppets in the hands of an unseen force. One by one, the friends succumbed to the grasp of unseen forces, their desperate screams echoing through the desolation. Shadows danced among the skeletal remains of carnival attractions, revealing fleeting glimpses of a grinning figure, Jeff the Killer, his malevolence woven into the very fabric of the abandoned amusement park. Each friend disappeared into the enveloping darkness, leaving only the haunting echoes of their pleas for salvation. The last survivor, paralyzed by an overwhelming fear, found themselves standing in the heart of the nightmare, the Hall of Mirrors. The mirrors, warped and twisted, reflected a distorted reality where friend and foe became indistinguishable. The survivor's own reflection grinned maliciously before seizing them, pulling them into the mirror realm, a twisted dimension where the abandoned carnival echoed with the eternal laughter of lost souls. The spectral laughter became an indelible soundtrack, haunting the survivors' senses as they became yet another lost soul, trapped within the fractured reflections of the forsaken carnival. The rusted gates groaned shut behind them, sealing the nightmarish fate that awaited any who dared to tread upon the decaying grounds of the forgotten Blackwood Carnival.